had not hastened to me. Would that I had been indeed extinguished. And now, Mathilda, I must make you my last confession. I have been miserably mistaken in imagining that I could conquer my love for you. I never can. The sight of this house, these fields and woods which my first love inhabited, seems to have increased it. In my madness I dared say to myself, Diana died to give her birth. Her mother's spirit was transferred into her frame, and she ought to be as Diana to me. With every effort to cast it off, this love clings closer, this guilty love more unnatural than hate, that withers your hopes and destroys me for ever. Better have loved despair, and safer kissed her. No time or space can tear from my soul that which makes a part of it. Since my arrival here, I have not for a moment ceased to feel the hell of passion which has been implanted in me to burn until all be cold and stiff and dead. Yet I will not die. Alas! How dare I go where I may meet Diana, when I have disobeyed her last request, her last words, said in a faint voice, when all feeling but love, which survives all things else, was already dead. She then bade me make her child happy. That thought alone gives a double sting to death. I will wander away from you, away from all life. In the solitude I seek, I alone shall breathe of humankind. I must endure life, and as it is my duty, so I shall, until the grave dreaded, yet desired, receive me free from pain. For while I feel, it will be pain that must make up the whole sum of my sensations. Is not this a fearful curse that I labour under? Do I not look forward to a miserable future? My child, if after this life I am permitted to see you again, if pain can purify the heart, mine will be pure. If remorse may expiate guilt, I shall be guiltless. I have been at the door of your chamber. Everything is quiet. You sleep. Do you indeed sleep, Mathilda? Spirits of good, behold the tears of my earnest prayer. Bless my child. Protect her from the selfish among her fellow creatures. Protect her from the agonies of passion and the despair of disappointment. Peace, hope, and love be thy guardians, O thou soul of my soul, thou in whom I breathe. I dare not read my letter over, for I have no time to write another, and yet I fear that some expressions in it might displease me. Since I last saw you, I have been constantly employed in writing letters, and have several more to write, for I do not intend that any one shall hear of me after I depart. I need not conjure you to look upon me as one of whom all links that once existed between us are broken. Your own delicacy will not allow you, I am convinced, to attempt to trace me. It is far better for your peace that you should be ignorant of my destination. You will not follow me, for when I banish myself, would you nourish guilt by obtruding yourself upon me? You will not do this. I know you will not. You must forget me and all the evil that I have taught you. Cast off the only gift that I have bestowed upon you, your grief, and rise from under my blighting influence as no flower so sweet ever did rise from beneath so much evil. You will never hear from me again. Receive these then as the last words of mine that will ever reach you, and although I have forfeited your filial love, yet regard them, I conjure you, as a father's command. Resolutely shake off the wretchedness that this first misfortune in early life must occasion you. Bear boldly up against the storm, continue wise and mild, but believe it and indeed it is, your duty to be happy. You are very young. Let not this check for more than a moment retard your glorious course. Hold on, beloved one. The sun of youth is not set for you. It will restore vigour and life to you. Do not resist with obstinate grief its beneficent influence. O my child, bless me with the hope that I have not utterly destroyed you. Farewell, Mathilda. I go with the belief that I have your pardon. Your gentle nature would not permit you to hate your greatest enemy, and though I be he, although I have rent happiness from your grasp, though I have passed over your young love and hopes as the angel of destruction, finding beauty and joy, and leaving blight and despair, yet you will forgive me, and with eyes overflowing with tears I thank you. My beloved one, I accept your pardon with a gratitude that will never die, and that will, indeed it will, outlive guilt and remorse. Farewell for ever. The moment I finished this letter, I ordered the carriage, and prepared to follow my father. The words of his letter by which he had dissuaded me from this step were those that determined me. Why did he write them? He must know that if I believed that his intention was merely to absent himself from me, that instead of opposing him it would be that which I should myself require. Or if he thought that any lurking feeling, yet he could not think that, should lead me to him, would he endeavour to overthrow the only hope he could have of ever seeing me again. A lover, there was madness in the thought, yet he was my lover, would not act thus. No, he had determined to die, and he wished to spare me the misery of knowing it. The few ineffectual words he had said concerning his duty were to me a further proof, and the more I studied the letter, the more did I perceive 1,000 slight expressions that could only indicate a knowledge that life was now over for him. He was about to die. My blood froze at the thought. A sickening feeling of horror came over me that allowed not of tears. As I waited for the carriage, I walked up and down with a quick pace. Then kneeling, and passionately clasping my hands, I tried to pray, but my voice was choked by convulsive sobs. Oh, the sun shone, the air was balmy. He must yet live, for if he were dead, all would surely be black as night to me. The motion of the carriage, knowing that it carried me towards him, and that I might perhaps find him alive, somewhat revived my courage, yet I had a dreadful ride. Hope only supported me, the hope that I should not be too late. I did not weep, but I wiped the perspiration from my brow, and tried to still my brain and heart beating almost to madness. Oh, I must not be mad when I see him. Or perhaps it were as well that I should be. My distraction might calm his, and recall him to the endurance of life. Yet until I find him, I must force reason to keep her seat. And I pressed my forehead hard with my hands. Oh, do not leave me, or I shall forget what I am about. Instead of driving on as we ought with the speed of lightning, they will attend to me, and we shall be too late. Oh, God help me! Let him be alive! It is all dark. In my abject misery I demand no more. No hope, no good, only passion, and guilt, and horror. But alive, alive! My sensations choked me. No tears fell, yet I sobbed, and breathed short and hard. One only thought possessed me, and I could only utter one word, that half screaming was perpetually on my lips. Alive! Alive! I had taken the steward with me, for he, much better than I, could make the requisite inquiries. The poor old man could not restrain his tears, as he saw my deep distress and knew the cause. He sometimes uttered a few broken words of consolation. In moments like these, the mistress and servant